Hello, whoever might be watching this video. My name is Jesus Hill, and the purpose of this small talking is to present my own findings about the importance of Samuel Johnson in the context of the 18th century literature. This one are the result of some research carried out through the resources provided on the correspondent web quest. So let's get started. Samuel Johnson was a journalist, essayist, lexicographer, satirist, and poet, among others. He was born in 1709, and perhaps his dictionary of the English language, a monumental text compiled in 1755, that makes him chiefly known for. Nevertheless, the diversity of Samuel Johnson writings and the vast scope of the topics he dealt with lead to conclude Samuel Johnson to have dominated the literary life of England from 1750 to 1784, to the point that this period is often called the Age of Johnson. Although far from being exhaustive, it's worth noticing some essential features which make his work so remarkable. To begin with, his more known work, Dictionary of the English Language, is, according to Professor David Crystal, a work of extraordinary precision, clarity, and succinctness. In addition, this one is not devoid of the witty humor and cheeky provocation, such as the funny alliteration in Hershey's definition, or the provocative definition of excise. It encompasses over 42,000 entries and 140,000 definitions, with some judgmental nuances and idiosyncratic definitions scattered throughout. Likewise, the dictionary contains a host of information about the linguistic, social, and regional variations, ranging from formal words of classical origin to colloquial and regionalisms expressions. But his name wouldn't have endured for so long had his friend James Boswell not preserved it in his posthumously printed biography, Life of Samuel Johnson, edited in 1791. In this book, Boswell recounts many of the bon mots and aphorisms uttered by Samuel Johnson, a brilliant conversationalist, on occasion of regular meetings with clubmates and peers of his social circle, which was composed by some of the most distinguished and talented men at that time. Here you are some selected ones. A fly, sir, may sting a stately horse and make him wince, but one is but an insect and the other is a horse still. Or this other one, integrity without knowledge is weak and useless, and knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful. It's remarkable that Johnson dropped out university and launched himself into the febrile literary atmosphere of coffee houses and print shops in London. As far as his status as a poet, a term of honor in the 18th century England, it should be said that his verse in the tradition of the Donne, Dryden, or Pope is more the result of intellectual work than inspiration. Within the Augustan style, it is realistic rather than metaphoric, well organized and sometimes satirical. His poetry was generally disregarded during the 18th century, although the next century saw a revival of in his poetry. Johnson's overall importance as a poet depends on the amount of emphasis put by his critics on the range and scope of his work. Nonetheless, two of his major productions, London and Vanity of Human Wishes, an imitation of the third and tenth satires of Juvenal, condense the dominant concepts and concerns of Johnson thought. Something that enables one to categorize him as a moralist and humanist. Johnson, on the whole, follows Juvenal's structure, but with alteration revealing his particular concerns. He also captures, once he wishes, Juvenal's meaning exactly. So, in his London poem, unlike Juvenal satires, Johnson put emphasis on politics rather than personal condition, due to the to popular unrest and dislike with the court and Walpole's ministry. Such a virulent satire led the government to issue a warrant for his arrest. In the Vanity of Human Wishes, Johnson shares some of the juvenile concerns, namely the fullness of human desires and the importance of using reason as a guide of one's choices. Here, Johnson also diverges himself from Juvenal. While the latter focuses on the physical and licentious, Johnson is more concerned with the spiritual and psychological than in the scenes of flesh. Nevertheless, both Juvenal's Stoicism and Johnson's Christianity put individual destiny in the hands of a higher power, which knows what is best for human beings. In the end, it seems Johnson to be more comfortable as a moralist than a satirist, since he elevates satirical mode above insignificant limitations of vile invective aimed at individuals, to encompass humanity as a whole, and so that he can offer his corrective vision. Well, I hope this quick summary has shed some light upon such a prolific writer and outstanding figure of the 18th century English literary society as Samuel Johnson was. Thank you.